Welcome.
Okay.
Disc 2 includes additional cars, tracks, and environments.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long, right? On an emulator.
Please insert Disc 2 now.
Man. More convenient.
Please insert Disc 1 now.
Uh-oh. Yeah, but exactly that problem I had. And then it crashes. You need to start the game or the emulator and say no, and then rather install it later from the menu. That was the same issue with Forza Motorsport 4. If you try to install on a prompt, it crashes. Or you need to unpack this CD, perhaps something like that. Both. Because this is XISO tool, which I will do anyways because I want to install those mods. We can also play without that.
Disc 2 includes additional cars, tracks, and environments. For the full Forza Motorsport experience, we recommend that you install the contents of Disc 2.
Disc 2. No!
For the full Forza Motorsport experience...
Ah, yes, I'm sure. Yeah, okay, no, I said yes. Oh, wait. Are you sure? Yes. So you say no.
How familiar are you with racing games?
Man, I'm super serious.
The choice you make will affect which driving assists
yeah,
are active.
I'm super serious, man.
Forza Motorsport 3 puts the power and potential...
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really into this Top Gear stuff or this Top Gear dude. They also did it for 4. I'm really care for that. That dude is also narrating some cars, and I don't know, I personally think it is rather wasted resources. Yeah, because that costs money, and this money will lack somewhere else. I mean, anti-lock brakes, at least for non-racing cars. So the helo. Man, the graphics, look at that. And Forza 4 even looks better. This looks like a modern game. But just as 20 years old. Look at those graphics. I bought several racing games released recently. They don't look any better. But they have 10 more post-processing filters thrown on top. Fast. Now this game has finally a game that has a good speed convey. I'm not here. And look at the map. It's crazy. Yeah, it has the same shadow problems like the other one. You can fix that. You don't need to install the mod per se. You can install the part of the mod that fixes the tracks that fixes the shadow. What you see here, this blocky shadow. It has the same issues like Forza Motorsport 4. tires, so me feel it. it feels good. The controls are very good. It feels like Forza Motorsport 4. It's very unique, but absolutely precise.
Time to choose your first car. Any of the...
You definitely have the feeling sometimes you have more authority in corner braking than you should have. But again, I never drove a full race setup car, but normally, I mean, you see if those guys misbrake, they normally are sent into the wall or into the sand. So if the game basically allows you, even on realism, that you can basically correct your mistakes somewhat with in corner braking. Well, in reality, if you miss a certain point, yeah, it's basically you sail along. Yeah, goodbye. See you on the other side. Okay, yeah, exactly, perfect. Start out with some shitty car, and don't push a car on me just because Honda Fit paid you. It's very similar to 4. Also, this is Top Gear narrator and everything, which someone doesn't work correctly. But I don't care even for that guy. Again, I find that this
nice choice. When you're ready to get behind the wheel, choose Go Race.
I wouldn't have figured that out without him. But that cost probably 1 million entirely to get that dude to narrate this stuff there. And it's the same in 4. He's basically simply you're switching to, I don't know, Suzuka. This is Suzuka, a famous track in Japan. You will now race on it. Ah yeah, Tony, thanks. And that's why I'm watching Top Gear. And I don't know, if some people need presentation is important. Yeah, presentation is important, but I think that is not really important. I don't even care if it is some Top Gear dude. Could be also some rando. Could be also Hans Ulrich from Baden-Württemberg. I don't even know who that Top Gear dude is. I find I'm rather even more anti bringing in some same with this Kojima stuff. Dude paying probably multi-millions to get those actresses and those actors in his video games. While I don't give a damn if that dude from Walking Dead is playing the DRL boy in Walking Dead, the Death Stranding Walking Dead. Yeah, but I guess people are different. So he's also narrating cars, and I mean that costs a resource. This resource could be invested into getting more cars, tracks, quality where it is needed. It's only unnecessary bells and whistles for me.
In order to begin your career, choose Season Play.
I mean, seriously, does anybody need that? I was thinking I need to choose multiplayer to play my single player career. Shit, man. Thanks.
In Season Play, you choose from among several events. These events fill up your calendar as you race through the season. Each event consists of multiple races. If you're not sure which event to choose, review the tips displayed under each event poster. This is your season calendar. Your first race is highlighted. When new events are added, this is where you can find them.
That's cool. So you basically...
Time for the first race of your new season.
That is a nice idea.
Choose Start race.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. That is a nice idea. That's even better than 4. Probably somebody was again, hey, I want to drive whenever I want. I want to have full freedom. No, but it's cool. Yeah, you have basically those races are then placed in the calendar. You can fill your calendar with other races. I mean, that is what real racing drivers do. A lot of racing drivers, they drive in different classes even, yeah. Even different countries at the same time. They drive in the Japan GT and, I don't know, drive in the Formula whatever. I mean, you can't afford a life as a racing driver anymore anyways. It is a sport for rich people. It was already in the last 30 years, it is even worse. Dudes like Michael Schumacher, man, I mean, he was also not coming from a complete I mean, his dad was owning, I don't know, what was it, a cart? But he was not some rich boy or whatever, yeah, but... Or, I think the last dude who really somewhat was here Hamilton. Nowadays you only have those rich racing dad kids. Because it is so expensive, it's so massive. Motorsport, that's why it's dying, it's so expensive. I mean, people can't even afford a car. Oh, they are supposed to race. Leute, geht's hier? Also, Stocker hier, weil. And even those slow cars have at least some sense of speed. And again, yeah, the shadow, I can fix that. Oh, Junge, lass mich mal, also, yeah. But it's of course my fault, I mean, I'm driving hyper-aggressive. In Gran Turismo or slow cars, it feels like driving a snail. Yes, you still have quite a dynamic driving experience. Still feels like racing.
Excellent work. You've finished your first race. Now, on to the next.
Can I see this shop? Yeah. Yeah, I guess, I mean, Forza Motorsport 2, 3, 4. This is what considered like simply gradual step-ups. But they have, of course, some differences. Like, I mean, you could also say Gran Turismo 4 is a step-up of Gran Turismo 3 in all regards. Gran Turismo 2 is a step-up of Gran Turismo 1 in all regards. But some different approaches, perhaps, yeah. Like, Gran Turismo 3 is a more focused campaign experience, while Gran Turismo 4 is this do whatever you want, join with your Formula 1 car, the Sunday Cup, and destroy those polos by accident. Which I'm also not a fan of. I really like those. A lot of people, they start to whine about those limitations. For me, I mean, limitations are to this racing. I mean, you're not allowed into some racing league or whatever with not meeting the restrictions, yeah. And you need then work with those restrictions, yeah, with those horsepower restrictions. It's very easy in Gran Turismo 2. You have only those horsepower restrictions and perhaps some drivetrain or whatever restrictions, and then you work with weight reduction and whatever, what the real dudes do, yeah. And it works out. Gran Turismo 4 is always I joined by accident, don't know how much tuning I should invest, end up being first on turn 1. And yeah, that is okay, yeah, exactly, sure, storefront, okay. No, that is Do I want to press that button? But that is normally how you install the content. I mean, I need to install it in order to see the content. Yes. I don't know. Do I need to unpack first? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some issues, okay. It is working, but you need to unpack the ISO. This X-ISO tool. And everything works fine. Same for Forza Motorsport 4. And then you can also mod it. You can directly access the files. And fix those shadows and everything. Which the mod is also doing. But yeah, if you want to play those, which seem to be beautiful games, it requires definitely some tinkering around. Another plug and play emulator experience. Unfortunately. So we will probably not see all cars. We won't see the shop. Cars? Ah, buy cars. What's an auction? Oh, there's some online stuff. That is simply sorted by letters. I mean, there's a ton. Probably more than in 2. While 4 is even more. There's us sometimes, man, those fucking gaming journalists. I think they also sometimes cause more damage. I mean, yeah, they usually only cause damage. But, you know, there's among those gaming journalists that was already 10-20 years ago. If you simply improve your formula, because your game is already great, they might call you out for not innovating enough or not changing enough. And it was this typical, oh shit, wait, what can we criticize? Yeah, that game is very similar to Forza Motorsport 2, so we don't give it enough. And of course, those developers, publishers, I mean, nowadays it is fortunately losing influence because nobody takes gaming genres anymore serious. I mean, 10 years ago, of course, people checked what score did those games receive by IGN or PC Games or whatever, and might make a purchase decision based on that. And so those guys were always, of course, quite into that, what they can do in order to maximize those scores. You see, there was even developers receiving bonus payments depending on the professional Metacritic score. While nowadays, which is great, a great development, people rather look for Steam reviews or other user-based scores. Because those professionals, the only difference between you and a professional video game journalist is that a professional video game journalist gets paid for talking shit. By you talking shit for free. Yeah, that is the only difference. And you might even have more competence than that dude. Who basically somehow ended up after his somehow in the video games and started playing video games 10 days ago. So remember that IGN review of that dude who played Ace Combat, who was criticizing one of the newer Ace Combats, that it is annoying that you first need to roll the plane and then you can turn. So basic plane physics, which everybody should know after the kindergarten. That you need to roll a plane before you can turn into a different direction. It's not like a car that you, with a steering wheel, turn the aircraft basically on a horizontal plane. Yeah? And that was annoying for him because it was very complicated for him. And so he was reviewing some arcade. I figured it out. I think you can give Ace Combat to a 4-year-old. You might figure it out after 2 minutes. The regular 4-year-old. The dude was struggling, man. He was saying, why can't I press left and steer like a car? gave minus points to the game, man. because of that. It was too complicated, man. Ace Combat. That you, man, those aircraft, those fucking physics that you need to roll them is so fucking annoying. And what I wanted to say is that this typical, the game didn't do anything new. It is we don't see much improvement or changes to Forza Motorsport 2 or 3 or to Gran Turismo 4 or 5, whatever. So you only get 80%. Might give those guys incentive to make something worse. Verschlimmbessern. What's the English word for that? That you want to change something and you basically screw it more up. I don't think if a formula is great, re-release it. Yeah, don't need to pull off a FIFA or whatever. I mean, FIFA also removes features and adds them 2 years later. That is, of course, a different story and shouldn't be done. But if something is working, leave it alone. If people are loving something, leave it alone. If people love price cars, don't change it. It's obvious. Yeah? But I guess this shit also gives sometimes those developers incentive to do everything to do a 180. And then those gaming, those good games, lineups, IPs, get screwed up. Pretty sure that there's an influence on that. Because there's often this. There's of course some people that want to try out something new. Yeah, sure. There's some people that say simply, "Man, we need to do something new for the scores." Yeah, I mean, okay. And that's the same for Forza Motorsport 2, 3, 4. But they might still offer somewhat, especially when it comes to the career experience, let's see, go race. Event list here. Ah yeah, okay, they really pull off that same interface from 4, which I'm also not a fan of. Which is so super ugly. That is basically all your events and you pick them here. Like check marking. And I think presentation is important. Yeah, look at Gran Turismo 4, 3 of 2. Yeah, you have this here, beginners, and you go, and then you have the thumbnails and everything. This is important. Yeah, this visual presentation. Here you simply have some ugly screen presented with, make 100 check marks and you're done with the game. Yeah, I mean you have some thumbnails on the right side, okay, but that is here check marking the game. Yeah. Guess that's why they perhaps added in 4 this world travel mode, which is completely linear. Because I need to play that, perhaps it opens up, I don't know. Set screen is simply fucking ugly. Yeah, simply check marking, okay, next I need to do that, okay, next this. I mean, it's not different in Gran Turismo, but again, the presentation is different. The holidays sell it to you. Okay, so that is an ugly screen. Good, I will fix that. I'm pretty sure I will play that in the future. 2, 3, 4. I guess 2 and 4 look... 3 so far I can't tell. I mean, this calendar stuff, okay. But 3 looks really like 4. In very many regards. 4 is basically 3.5. Which is fine, yeah. Also with this Top Gear dude and whatever, and this... Just minus the calendar. But yeah, is that really a big thing? I mean, nobody cares really for that. Okay, next is now we will now jump back and play the newest one. For my $4 I will get my time worth. Let's see, a fabulous new Forza Motorsport. And we also check out Forza Horizon. I don't know what still don't get what is Forza Horizon. What is Forza Motorsport? Forza Horizon is more the action. I don't know, man. It will probably both be shit. Green and blue, but yeah, let's don't go in with bias. Okay, we'll set up that new one and then be back in 1-2 minutes.